Hello everyone, my name is Oля and here I'm just stitching about. This is the second part of my video about all of my current work in progress. If you haven't seen first part yet, you can find it easily on my channel or you can just stay here because I still have a lot to show you. And let's jump straight into stitching. Right now you're looking on my regular project, this why it's at hoop. This is an apple still life designed by Russian designer Жанна Dick. It's quite a large and time-consuming piece for an independent designer chart, but at the same time it's very simple and pleasant to stitch. For a long time this project somehow stayed without attention, but this winter I decided to focus on it and finish it as soon as I can, but I also at the same time don't want to push it and rush so much. That's why I'm trying to take it every week because, as any cross stitcher, if you're working on some project regularly, someday it will finish. Usually charts from independent designers tend to look like more illustrative and they are using so much black backstitch, but this is very realistic apple and still life and really beautiful. It caught my eye already at the stage of pre-order, and when this pattern came, of course I bought and started it. I'm stitching this design on 16 count gray Aida, and actually I'm very happy with my choice because you see the gray background half stitch is looking amazing on this canvas, and also dark areas are not how to say it. The stitches look neat and dense. At some point in my life actually I went through the phase of being completely fascinated by the green color. I was choosing some green stuff around me like crazy. And still I have a lot of green clothes, or I even have green furniture. And of course I started a lot of green designs too, and maybe you will notice it because I already finished 1/5 of them and I continue I have still a lot of green designs in my currently works. And before I did not trust. Actually, I was skeptical about the idea that colors can affect our psychological and emotional state, but now I think different, and I noticed that when I'm working with green plots, green projects a lot, I feel like peaceful. I feel calm. And instead of this, when I'm working on very red projects, I can easily get mad. So this is just funny observation, and maybe you noticed something like this too. Anyhow, this project is around 65% complete, and I still have a lot of gray and actually brown colors to work on, but green also little left. And by the way, red apples almost done, so I may not see them these colors anymore, but they're already here on. I think absolutely everyone is familiar with such a masterpiece of word art like Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh, and his work rarely leaves anyone indifferent. I've already stitched 5 designs based on his painting before, and this experience actually brought me a lot of joy during the process. So when my sister gifted me that kit by Magic Needle, yes, it's Russian manufacturer, I started it with great enthusiasm, and in the same time, I've already had starry night from another designer, and I finished this project. I gifted to my friend. So this time I wanted to make it a bit faster and smaller actually. And in original kit they gave me 40, not 40, fourth count Aida, but I make it like 25 count, so I make half stitch. That's why this project going even easier and faster than I even expected. And this is my it was great surprise for me because there is no black color. Yes, this design have a lot of black parts, like it's night. It's starry night, but there is no black floss. There is only dark blue, green and brown, also gray, which is covering dark places. And I like my results that I already have, even it's like 20% ready, but I'm sure it will finish fast because it's really easy and fast going process. In the first part of video about my current work in progress, I already mentioned my love for circle designs in general and especially to circle from Stitching Land in Art Nouveau stylistic. And this is my second active project from this designer for now. Who knows what will happen next. And also it's a bit experiment for me because I decided to make this circle smaller. That's why I took 25 count of even wave with the one stand of floss. And these stitches, cross stitches, are so tiny, but I really enjoy the effect which it gives, which this technique creates, and I like that finished piece will be so small according to his big brothers. As usual, Stitching Clan's designs are very easy and enjoyable to stitch, and I'm personally very drawn to marine themes. I even live near the sea, and no, by the way, my sea is very calm and you never can see this much dramatic waves there. Once again, I have to say how much I love these circles. I will repeat it a lot in future too, for sure. But what can I do? This my little obsession. This multicolor project is very personal to me in terms of emotions and associations. At first glance, it's just a very calm, peaceful landscape where almost nothing happens, no people, not even bird is flying over the mountain lake. And yet, every time I look at this frosty mountain sunrise, my heart fills with warmth and tenderness to this landscape. As the sun rises, the whole world become pink, like even air is pink, and of course pink mist. Yes, this is main. And yet the color palette of this piece is absolutely magical to me. This is literally my favorite shade of pink. I like this ash of rose, maybe you know. Especially when it's combined to gray colors on mountains, and this landscape is huge love of mine. This is also the project that I've been deliberately stretching out of quite a long time now, simply because I'm not ready to say goodbye to it once it's finished. That's why I'm always procrastinating about this and postponing. Even I love the process so much, but also I don't want to eat it in one time. Even I could finish it in 1 year, I'm continue make it longer. This project is connected with very different emotions and memories. Previously, I stitched another design by the same designer, also featuring girl close to circle shape and also like little and so childish fairy tale. I love it so much. Oh, I even can show you. 1 second. This one, you see, it's almost same style at least. And when I finished it, I seriously thought, oh, I need the next one. I would like to continue work with these designers patterns. And I seriously thought about to buy the next one, but my friend was faster and she gifted me this beautiful pattern, and of course I couldn't stop myself. I couldn't resist this desire to start this project as soon as possible. And little earlier of this, I've been very drawn to the theme of the Wild West and especially to Native American culture, so this design felt like a perfect fit. And sometimes my daughter asks me, what am I working on in exactly time? And I show you, look, I'm working on this little cutie girl with her bison. Do you like it? And she said, no. And I was like, hey, young lady, what's wrong with your taste? You just like so much very scary and dangerous Nagaina, which I finished just few days ago. And you don't like this cutie little girl with bison? Wait, I will show you. I have it near me too. This Nagaina. What's wrong with your taste? But, okay, honestly saying, I loved this Nagaina too, and I finished it in one breath, so no question. She's definitely my daughter. In any case, I'm continue stitching Pocahontas not for my daughter's room, but for myself, because I truly love this design and the color palette is so pleasuring me. I'm in love with this blue and little purple colors. I'm in love with how it's going on. Even sometimes it's hard. Yes, I have to change color of floss so often and I have to jump everywhere, but it's still so joyful process for me. As I said before, I've been captivated by Native American themes, so this autumn, alongside Pocahontas, I also started this dimensions design called Early Snow, and actually this is like little gift from myself to myself. In some ways, it shares a similar color palette with Pocahontas, but this landscape is much simpler to stitch. Large areas are stitched in half stitch. In fact, it's even easier and faster going. And I replaced the original fabric with 28 count light blue even wave to enhance the feeling of the sky in the background. And actually this is only my second dimensions project ever, and I'm absolutely amazed by the designer's work. How such staining effects is achieved with such simple techniques, but original idea is hard for me. I mean, like, it's really hard to work on it, so yes, I'm mostly always replacing original Canva. By now you probably noticed how much I love family portraits in cross stitch. This is yet another example of my being unable to resist starting a project featuring this is very unusual girl by Heaven and Earth Designs. She might look a bit unsettling because of her unusual it's very soft to say, okay, an unusual hairstyle, and she may remind Howard Lovecraft stories, and her pet in her hands is also not usual in any way, but I like weirdness of this project. I like Also her face, how it looks like. I like her calm and peaceful look. Yes, she doesn't show so much emotions on her sweet face, but I love how it's going on. And by the way, because it's mini design, and unfortunately it's not possible to buy as I know anymore, but luckily I have it, so I can continue work on this project. And yes, I'm working, I'm enjoying of every stitch on this project. And you know, in heaven and earth designs they doesn't use blends. Also there was not so much confetti, so that's why it's going so fast and easy. Sometimes I need this kind of things too. And I especially love how her dress is coming together. It's almost feel like real and I can touch it. At least at her left or right sleeve, which is already ready. Constant person if we are talking about cross stitching patterns, because I love landscapes, I love family portraits, I love pink, I love flowers, by the way. Yes, I always have some flowers in my project list, and that's also one of. And designer actually have like 6 patterns in one series. You can find them easily. I bought only 3 of them and it's enough actually. I finished one and maybe I'll show you later. It's my second one, and when I will finish third, I will put all of them in freight and make beautiful composition on one of my wall. So I'm waiting for this, but in the same time I'm also not rushing so much with this project. It's main point, it's enjoy in process for me, and results are also fine to have. I would like to say little more about this project, but in same time I don't have so much emotions and I not so much connected to this project. Yes, I love it. I'm enjoying in process, but I don't hold it in my mind. Sometimes I just take and move it forward, and that's all. Once again, pink shades and flowers, yes, and this time in double volume. Next to the current work in progress, you can also see the finished magnolia red by another designer. Since I still had enough space on the fabric and both are same magnolia flowers and both are circle and so similar techniques, like they're illustrative and have a lot of black backstitch. So I decided they can be good neighbors. That's why I just continue like this, and when I will finish them both I can cut and put all of them in simple frames and enjoy. But now it's easier to put hoops when it's big piece of fabric, so it's like this for now and it doesn't bother me anyway. And this is one of the youngest my project. I mean, I started it like 1 or 2 months ago and did not give it enough attention, just move it once and never touched anymore. I need to fix it soon. Yes, now I feel shame. But okay, try to understand me. I have a lot of process and I really try to move all of them. I really try to give them enough attention, and it's not that easy like it may seems. But at least I know this one will not stay with me so long time, because it's quietly small and so easy and fast going. Yes, of course, backstitch parts will be much harder, but also joyful. Sometimes I like this technique too, sometimes it makes me crazy, but that's life. and challenges also needed to be. And finally, the largest and oldest project. And actually, I even don't know how to show you this fully because it doesn't fit in frame. But somehow I will show you. Yes. Artist Amy Stewart created this incredible and bright art. It's so many details. Even I'm working 5 years on this project, I always find some new details on it whenever I'm moving to next piece. And that's also a lot of joy, even it's not so easy. I know Heaven and Earth Designs also created pattern on this art, and it should be easier for sure because there is no blend, but I chose another one. So yes, sometimes it's hard, but sometimes also easy. Why I'm crying? It's normal. It's multicolor project and it's really huge. There is already like 140,000 stitches are done, and you can see I'm moving camera now. I still have more than 5,100 of stitches left, so you can imagine how many years this project will stay with me, but I'm not stopping. I mean, I never left this design more than 1 or 2 months, just lay and wait. I trying to do it regularly and move not like 1,000, 2,000. I'm trying to move it like at least 5. But life is life and sometimes it's stay. But rarely. I love all of my projects and I really trying to move them regularly. And even there is so huge area already closed. It's even less than 20%. Can you imagine how huge, how big it will be? Like my second blanket. First blanket I showed you in the end of the first part of video about my work in progress, and this is my second little blanket. And at this point I would like to say that thank you so much for watching my video. If you have some questions, just ask me and I will answer you, of course. And see you later in my future video.